welcome to Liverpool City Region Creating Careers. We're joined on today's webinar with Jackie. Jackie is an animal behaviourist, so Jackie's going to talk to us today about all things animals and animal careers. So we're looking forward to an informative session. Students should have completed some pre-work that have been set for this webinar, and there'll also be a quiz at the end of the video. So I'm going to go straight over to Jackie. Jackie, thanks for joining us today.
No problem, Claire. It's lovely to be here. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So we've got questions for you, Jackie. So I'm going to go straight into the questions. So question number 1 is, can you tell us about your job?
Okay, so my job is a really varied job, and I'll tell you a little bit about some of the things I do, and also about me being an animal behaviourist or a pet behaviour counsellor. So at Myerscough, I head up the careers department, work placements and T-level projects. And my heart is very much still in what I ran my own business, which is as a pet behaviour counsellor or animal behaviourist. And that is all about helping people with their animals when they're having a problem. So maybe your dog is biting, or your cat is toileting in the wrong place in the house, those types of things. That is what I ran my own business, and that's what vets refer cases to me for.
Okay, cool, brilliant. Question number 2. Could you tell us a bit about your career journey?
Yeah, so my career journey, and I love talking about my career journey because I hope it shows people that we all don't go down the road to our perfect job to start with. So going back to when I was at school, I didn't want to go to university, and I went straight into a job with a company that you'll know now called BT. So I started working many years ago at BT, and I went into sort of like an admin role. I turned down a managerial role with another sort of government company because that would have meant I had to move away from home, and I didn't want to move away from home, and I didn't want to go to university at that point. So I took on an admin role, and then quite soon I realised that I wanted to get more out of my job, and started looking at different qualifications that I could do sort of like in the evening, so alongside my job. So I retrained and carried on with my day job, and I got promoted within BT, and after a good many years at BT, with other qualifications under my belt and lots of experience that really helps, I went on to lead BT when I was a senior project manager, and I went straight back to university. So I had done a university course in the evenings whilst I was at BT, and then I gave up my job and went back to train full time, and I had to pay for that myself. So I ended up doing lots of part-time jobs. So from delivering yellow pages to working in the local fish and chip shop and working in shops at the weekend. I self-funded myself through my degree, and that was all about retraining in animal behaviour. So that's how I became ultimately a qualified animal behaviourist, pet behaviour counsellor, and I ran my own business successfully and had an absolute brilliant time travelling all over the north of England, from one coast to the next coast, working on veterinary referral and seeing people's dogs, cats, horses, the odd African grey parrot, the odd rabbit as well, house rabbits. So a good range of animals, but mainly dogs and cats. And then Myerscough asked me to come back and do lots of guest lectures to their students, and ultimately a job came available at Myerscough, and I started my job there, brought all my referrals for behaviour with me, and then I got promoted, went into management as well as teaching students at Myerscough. and then retrained as well, did my teaching qualifications, and I also did my master's in, just finishing that, in careers. So very passionate about careers and helping everybody, no matter where they start from a qualification point of view, there is something out there for everybody, and I'm really passionate about helping people do that. So yes, and I still help people with their animals as well. So that is a very quick whistle-stop tour through my career journey.
It's such a great journey, and I think, you know, like you said, it's important that young people know that your path can change and that's okay.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
years ago, people would always tell you, you know, pick one job and stick to it.
Yeah.
But actually, you don't have to do that.
No, you don't. And I really want to try and get that across to as many young people as possible, and also mature people as well, that it is okay to go down from route A to B and then maybe change and go back to A, because it makes you the person that you are. And I wouldn't be the same person if I hadn't had that career journey. And I don't regret one part of it. And that's why I think it's great to be able to have the ability to be able to talk to people and tell people it's okay, our pathways will change, and it might take us longer than we want to get to our ultimate job. And when you get to that ultimate job that you want to do, you might think, actually, do you know, maybe that's not the job for me, and it's okay to do something else. So change is good, and yeah, always value your career journey, and that pathway changing, it is not a bad thing.
Brilliant. Okay, next question. What has been your toughest day on the job?
Oh, what can I say? That is a tricky one. I think probably the best example I could give there would be when you are working with real people, real pets and real problems. It involves a lot of emotion. So you wouldn't do a job working with people and animals if you weren't passionate about wanting to try and help and make a difference. Basically, when you've got people who love their animal so much and their animal is biting, and they've got people complaining, and maybe sometimes it's keeping family members away from your house because they don't want to get bitten by your dog. And then when you're actually working with them and you can see just how severe that case is, that aggression, and then you've got those families where they are turning their lives upside down to try and work with the dog, to try, and they might, you know, people will start walking their animal in the middle of the night to avoid meeting other people, because that's how much they love that dog. And when you're actually working with them and you know that you wouldn't be able to rehome that dog, and you know that the people that are with that animal are not going to be able to actually help that animal in the way that they can help it, and you can see that it's so far along the line that you are not going to be able to give them the magic wand that they need to be able to stop that animal doing that, and you're having to have some really hard conversations with people. Those are really probably my worst days on the job.
Yeah, animals, they're just the members of your family, aren't they? And when there's issues, it's really tough. So
it is, yeah, very much so. So yeah, we are human beings, and you feel it for them, because you know how you would feel if it was you.
Yeah. Okay, next question. So if a young person who is SEND, so with additional needs, wanted to work with animals, what courses could they study, or what could they do to get more experience?
Okay, so there's lots of courses that they could think to study, and there's lots of ways that they can get more experience. So first of all, there's lots of virtual work experience opportunities. When we're not sort of all locked down, people are taking volunteers again, then again there's opportunities to approach maybe local kennels, catcheries, animal rescues, places like that to see if you can possibly volunteer and go and help. And the way that it works in these places is that it may take you a while before you actually get very much hands-on with the animals, because they'll want to see how you are to keep the animals safe and to keep you safe. So it's really a case of sometimes you might get a job behind the reception desk, and they may then possibly get you involved in some supervised walking with them. And every bit of experience you can gain there is valuable and will help you along the way. You've got lots of opportunities. There's a big offering from supported internships. Supported internships are a great opportunity for people to build their experience in a very supportive environment. You will get the opportunity to get work experience. You will have support as you need for sort of any aspects of the job that you might be doing. And it's all guided very nicely through to some great opportunities. I've worked with loads of supported interns, and the journey that they go on when they go out into a work placement and also in the classroom, it's brilliant to see people grow and gain that confidence, you know, maybe from the very quiet, shy person that first sort of arrived somewhere to how they're actually going to go out there and they are going to work in that environment in the future. And it's just supported interns. I think it's a super program and is so valuable to people. And there are shorter versions before you get to the supported intern program. So for every entry level, there is something out there that can help you along the way. So have a chat. You can chat with us at Myerscough. We do loads of that, and there's lots of other places that do as well.
Brilliant. So on the staying on the same conversation or topic, should I say, as Myerscough. Myerscough is where you do your 9-to-5 job. So you often deliver lessons there to students. And Myerscough's got a couple of campuses, but we know that there's one at Croxteth. So could you tell us about the types of topics a student might learn there in terms of studying about animals, and where students might progress on to after leaving Myerscough?
Okay, so certainly the types of subjects that you could study if you were coming on sort of entry-level courses or the supported internships at the Croxteth campus. And we also do something similar at the Walton Hall campus at Warrington as well, so not too far away. But within the Croxteth campus, you could, if you were doing the animal studies, it would be husbandry. So husbandry is all about how to keep an animal well cared for. If it was with dogs, then you get involved with the grooming of those animals. You get involved in the exercise. Sometimes if we talk hens, you might be getting involved in enrichment type activities. So that would be creating, possibly building something that might engage the hen in different natural behaviour patterns. And it can be training with the dogs, it can be training with the hens. There's sheep, there's goats. I think they've also got some alpacas, I think, from memory. I think they've got some alpacas there. So there's a whole range of animals that you would get involved in working with, build your knowledge, build your skills. And then a bit further down the courses, dependent upon what level you started at, you then might get involved in any treatment. So if you've got a dog or a cat at home, then you might have to get involved in flea treatments or worming treatments. So you would start to learn about why those were needed for certain animals and how often you had to do that. So it's all about building those skills in that whole sort of like program of how you care for an animal. And some of the animal courses also linking with horticulture as well. And you could get involved in a course that does a bit of both. So that could be getting involved with growing plants, etc. And if you've got the hens, then sometimes it could be vegetables, and they love the vegetables that you want to grow as well. So there is a bit of a range of activities that you can do, but everything just gradually builds step by step, and it's done at a pace that people are comfortable with lots of support available.
Well, you've sold it to me. It sounds really exciting. Am I too old to come on any of these courses, Jackie?
There are so many courses, Claire, loads of short courses as well at the Croxteth campus, and many of them are funded as well. So
That's good.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, come along. There's tons of things to do.
So if any of our young people didn't want to do a course that, you know, was full time or a couple of days, they could maybe start and do a short course as a way to see if they liked it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a whole raft of different courses. Some of them are just a day course, some of them are evening courses, and there's an absolute massive array of things that are on offer at the Croxteth campus. So definitely engage with people there. There's lots of things that we can do, and if we don't have exactly the right thing that people are looking for, then we develop and change our sort of our options and delivery of them all the time to try and suit.
Do you know what? I last year was searching for a blacksmith type course, and I didn't realise that you guys did something similar, and you're right on our doorstep. Is it? Do they call it forgery or forging?
Forge works. We've got blacksmithing, we've got forge work. We are one of the few colleges in the country that do that. We're very sort of very well recognised with the Worshipful Company of Farriers is the overall sort of title. But there's so much to do. And little places are popping up all over about sort of forge work, and it's just working with metal and all those things that you can, lovely things you could make for your own home. Yeah, it's a great activity, and there are shorter courses available with things like that as well.